Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Bigfoot and Real Estate. This one labeled The Hunt, and it is part 4. Let's back up a little bit so people that are new to this series know how it began. Simply from a question of one of our clients who asked, what would be easier, finding legendary Bigfoot or my perfect home? At first I chuckled, but then I thought, what a great idea for a video. And now you know the rest of the story. Let's dive right into it. And one of the quick similarities from my research, in full disclosure, I'm not a hunter, so I had to do my homework on that subject, is ammunition. Most hunters have a preferred gun of choice or weapon of choice and ammunition for their weapon of choice. I believe that's very similar to when you're house hunting. We make sure our clients are properly armed for the hunt. And how we do that is via a pre-qualification form from a local lender or a lender that can practice here in Arizona, or what's known as a POF, proof of funds. Either way, that is their weapon to show sellers they are pre-qualified or have the ability to purchase the property they have hunted. What makes the pre-qualification legitimate or useful would be, much like a hunter's bullets for their gun, monies or savings or a gift letter would be the ammunition that lets the lender, a buyer, and agents move forward with submitting a contract for the house of our client's dreams. So, the similarities are almost unbelievable. The next thing I noticed was preparation. What are hunters hunting? I believe they need to know that before they go into the woods. They also probably do a massive amount of research on the area, the layout, and the dates and times that's best to obtain the prey that they seek. I also noted during my research that they never under or overestimate the time and resources for their hunting trips. This way, they have the best chance of a successful hunt. On a side note, I also noticed that there are professional hunters who already have their skill sets dialed in. This could be a lot like what we in real estate call investors. They are not new to the game and have all of the needed skills to get out there and find a house so they can fix it and perhaps put it back on the market. In our term or our world, we call that a fix and flip. On the flip side, no pun intended, there could be a similarity between a novice hunter and a first-time buyer. Both are new to their fields and want to make sure they do everything as properly and as safely as possible. In both cases, hunting for perhaps the legendary Bigfoot or again the home of your dreams, I would suggest obtain a professional guide to make sure that your success chances are as high as possible. Another thing that kind of ties into the big picture of hunting is, although we know what we're hunting for, why are we hunting? Some people might be hunting for what we would call a trophy home, and some hunters might be hunting for a trophy for their walls. I guess the similarity there would be, are we hunting to make sure we have food on the table and the freezer packed for a long winter? Or are we hunting to have a mounted head on the wall that we can point to and tell stories about? Similar to a house, do we want to have it full with all of the riches and high-end amenities and all of the bells and whistles? Are we first concerned with making sure that it has what we would call good bones and will provide shelter to our family? These are two very different ways of hunting, be it for houses or for game, but they definitely tie into one another. A successful hunt begins with careful planning and preparation. The process usually requires more time than the hunt itself. Here are some steps that we should take to properly prepare for the hunt. 1. Educate yourself about the game you'll be hunting and its environment. Obtain the most current state regulations. Wear appropriate clothing and bring the appropriate gear for the environment. Visit the site during off and on seasons to prepare for the hunt. Have all the needed paperwork in order. You know, when I was doing my research, I wasn't quite sure what they meant in reference to bring all needed paperwork for hunting. But when I dove into it, there's permits and tags. There's a lot of, again, and ironically, similarities between hunting for something specifically, being a game, and hunting for a home specifically. There's paperwork needed for both, and you would be wise to have everything in order prior to pulling the trigger. This will only sharpen your skills, and the best way to do that is to educate yourself, perhaps online, obtain a professional guide, or the good old-fashioned way, grab a book. Knowing what you're hunting and all of the steps of preparation, again including educating yourself about what you're hunting, is one of the most critical parts of the hunt. Understanding your quarry will increase your chances of success and add to the enjoyment of the overall experience. In many cases, knowing your quarry is necessary to ensure you're able to obtain said victory. You should be able to quickly recognize what it is you're hunting. If you hunt in a region where said game does not exist, aka the houses you seek, you'll be disappointed because they just aren't there. Here's a golden nugget I'd like to add, and it came directly from tips about hunting and directly correlates to hunting for a house. Hunting techniques are skills that are honed through education and experience. Ideally, beginners should seek the guidance of experienced hunters on their initial hunts until they have the safety rules and regulations under control. That makes sense. Well, on to the next part. Hello everyone, I'm Sean Rogers, Realtor and lead of the Mr. Rogers Homes team here in the Valley of the Sun, Arizona. If you're thinking about buying, selling, renting, or investing, please reach out to me. All of my contact information could be found in the descriptions of our videos below, and we'd be more than happy to get you moving. As always, thank you for watching our videos and supporting our channel. Remember to keep a lookout for other links to videos that we think you'll enjoy. Till next time, take care. God bless America. Talk to you soon. In this section, we'll be reviewing terms and definitions that will put us in the best position for a successful hunt. Term 1, stalking. Oh boy, when I heard stalking, I thought to myself, we're in trouble. We're probably better off leaving this term out. But as I started to do research on the best way to prepare for a hunt, the terms seem very relevant, be it hunting for a house or hunting for legendary Bigfoot. So, onward, forward. When stalking, you follow signs leading to a particular type of game. Stalking also requires total focus, staying alert, and above all, patience. The next term was posting. Posting involves sitting or standing in one spot. For Bigfoot, perhaps a tree stand. For house hunting, a coffee shop with Wi-Fi. The location may offer a vantage point. The key to setting up a good posting site is finding a location that offers us the most advantages over what it is we hunt. And this also includes our competition. Not that we're hunting our competition, but remember, others may be hunting the same things we are, be it Bigfoot or that first perfect home. Game calling. This is an effective technique for hunting. A successful hunter uses these sounds to attract animals close enough for him or her to take an effective shot. Perhaps we convert that to informing others in the realm of real estate that we are looking for a house. So it may be a good idea to give a shout out to coworkers, family members, and friends what it is we're looking for. That way, they can keep their eyes, in this case ears, open for us. One never knows where the perfect home will pop up for sale. Driving. I thought for a second this had everything to do with getting in your car and going to the location you were going to hunt, which again would make sense, but nope, it's definitely a style of hunting down or tracking or identifying your prey. Driving involves a group of hunters. They spread out to cover more ground faster. The success of the drive depends on good organization skills and being familiar with the terrain. It is critical that everyone involved in the drive knows what the focus of the hunt is, be it an 8-foot hairy monster or a 2-story brick house with a pool. Teamwork will always make the dream work. So once again, having more professionals and or eyes, ears, and boots moving in the direction for you is always going to lead to a victory. The last one that I had was staying safe. Now, this may not seem to be like a common ground between hunting for Bigfoot and a home, but hang on there. Many times it said hunters fail to identify the correct target, wasting valuable time and energy. All hunters need to do is wait patiently and identify the perfect target. So when they are ready, they will be able to pull the trigger and have the best chance of a successful hunt. One thing I wanted to add was, while doing my research on how to prepare for a hunt and all the rules and regulations, terms and definitions involved with that, I found myself chuckling, thinking to myself, I don't think I'll ever be purchasing my bright orange vest, my calls, hip waders, a shotgun, and entering into the woods looking for that perfect prey. But I certainly respect everybody that does this for a hobby or perhaps a livelihood. I also found myself thinking, the similarities, albeit hunting for Bigfoot or for a perfect house, are very, similar. And in the process of doing my research about the best ways or best procedures for hunting, I learned a little bit, which I hope these videos do for you. The bottom line might be that the more we research into what we're interested in, the more we go from the darkness to the light, or from beginner to expert. The journey all depends on how, quick we learn and how much we dedicate or how hard we study. But ultimately, whereas I, was never a hunter and probably won't be, to me, it was definitely a foreign event or foreign subject. And after reading some of the definitions and steps and procedures, putting myself in the mind frame of a hunter, I made a common bond with them. So by no means do I think that I'm ready to get out there and join them, but I definitely know that from this point on, I would be able to at least talk the talk with some of them and educate myself further, which again ultimately is the game plan while hunting for wild animal or perhaps your perfect home. The more knowledge you obtain in something, the more it becomes easier to learn and the less stress it may put upon you. I guess everything in this world is a step-by-step process, and I'm just blessed to do what I do day in and day out, that being Valley of the Sun real estate, much like a hunter feel the freedom when he's out there just roaming the woods. In some of the articles I was reading, the hunt really didn't make much of a difference whether they came home with the big kill or they didn't. They just enjoyed time in the woods, the scenery, just the overall ambience of nature and themselves. I sort of feel the same way when I'm doing real estate. Absolutely love what I do, and the fact that I can bring smiles on people's faces by handing them the keys to their first house, or perhaps helping them downsize, moving on to the next phase of life, has a lot of similarities to hunters that are out there providing perhaps entertainment for themselves, and on a second level, food for their friends and families. So until next time, take care.